If I were going to say in a simple sentence what measures success, I would say it's a changed life, a transformed person. As I look at our ability to be a change agent in this 21st century, I see a lot of things that have happened at Baylor that means we're changing lives by changing ourselves.
There is such a thing as transformational places, starting with the Baylor Science Building and then ending with the Baylor Research and Innovation Collaborative, what we call the BRIC. We're approaching 1 million square feet dedicated to the sciences and laboratories and the sciences at Baylor University. Those have been tremendous advancements forwards, and I think they're only beginning.
Having the Paul L. Foster Campus for Business Innovation does a number of things for us. It does provide the energy and the environment for us to create a learning environment where students can interact with business people, can interact with the latest technologies. They can get the best knowledge and experience possible. And so donors, you are contributing to developing leaders.
We've enjoyed unprecedented success over the past decade and, of course, tremendous generosity on the part of our donor base. The transformation of our facilities along the Brazos has been extraordinary, and we have incredibly high-quality facilities in a beautiful scenic location, and it's really put us in the upper echelon of college athletics in terms of what we have to offer our student athletes.
That's going to be really exciting. First time we come out of McLean Stadium and play a football game well there, not just from the game standpoint, but just from the whole atmosphere standpoint. They can walk across a bridge from that stadium, and they can walk down here and they can go to their classroom they went to. To me, that is a big thrill.
I would say to the donors, thank you for this beautiful campus. Thank you for the money toward the buildings, for scholarships. Thank you for the outreach programs. We have incredible opportunities to offer the students because of people like you.
There's just such an energy and enthusiasm on campus. The building and the programs that are taking place. Our students are feeling it, they're a part of it, they're engaged in it. It's really helping them to feel like there's a bright future.
People come to Baylor University not simply for the 15 hours a week that they're going to take in class, but also for the 90+ hours where they will be awake on this campus, learning, engaging, being a part of something larger than themselves. And when they come to a place like Baylor that's so intentional about creating communities that foster the academic, the spiritual, and the community life of students, they embrace it and they thrive with it.
Without our donors, we really couldn't create the number of opportunities that we have for our students. And we've been doing that both in building new facilities and renovating our existing facilities.
I love to see that they have the Living Learning Centers, and the engineering department in particular has had a Living Learning Center and now a residential college. And I see the benefit of that with our students. You are a partner with me in transforming students' lives forever.
If I had a chance to speak to a donor, I would want to say thank you for investing not just in buildings and in places, but in a whole experience. We're working together in an integrated fashion, all towards student success, and the outcomes have been really clear.
I think what excites me most about the new students that are coming in is the opportunities that they'll have that those in the past never had. Now that we have better facilities, we have more connections globally, we have more access to research funding because of the facilities and the faculty we have. So those students are going to be able to impact in a way that Baylor students have never been able to before.
I realize that engineering is a great way to connect with people, a great way to serve people, a great way to meet their needs, their fundamental basic needs, human needs, especially in a context of a developing country. Or if I can bring clean water, or if I can bring electricity, or I can create new jobs in a place, and I've done something that could really benefit the people. I really try to cultivate that in my students, and that's the human side of engineering. And I love it. I love doing that.
Well, Baylor University is a perfect fit for a project like the Texas Hunger Initiative. It's a perfect fit because Baylor has always understood that because of its faith perspective, that we are responsible for loving our neighbor as ourselves. So it doesn't matter if you get a degree in business or you did a degree in religion or social work. All of our students know that they're here to learn not just for themselves, but for the common good.
It's a place where I can share my faith with my students. I know they're getting a great education in all of their classes, And I just hope that when they come to mind, they find a teacher and a friend, and someone they can talk to, someone they can learn from, someone they can approach. So I think it's an incredible place to teach.
There are many ways to measure success in higher education. People talk about graduation rates, retention rates, job placement rates. All those things are important, and we certainly want to focus on those. But for me personally, how I measure success is, has that student become more and more the person God has designed them to be?
What it means is young men and young women come here at the age of 18 or 19 years old, and when they leave, they are different people. They are much more deeply grounded and rooted in their faith. They have developed a skill set that is going to enable them to be very productive citizens, great family members, great contributors to their community, to their churches and their neighborhoods. They will also have a much broader field of vision.
I really believe that every student, especially at Baylor, they come with the idea of finding their calling. And for me, that calling has been discovered through a very convoluted route. It's come with a lot of trial and error, it's come with a lot of heartache, but it's something that road was not one I could have taken anywhere else but Baylor. I came to Baylor as a neuroscience pre-med major, taking 18 hours with ROTC. That was, for me trying to do a lot, probably too much. And so through that time, the Lord really showed me where my strengths were and were not.
After my freshman year at Baylor, I was able to go on a mission trip to Rwanda, and it was a really humbling experience for me to go to a place where we thought that we were going to teach them all about what the church looks like, and in reality, they ended up teaching us what that was like. When students are given the opportunity to learn outside of the classroom, I think that they learn their own selves more than they do in the classroom. I think that we need the knowledge that we get from within the walls of the classroom to equip us to go out, but the ability to go out helps you to see the world from a new perspective.
The intentionality with which they go about creating a culture of an authentic Christian community, which after being here and living in it and being transformed by it, it has really changed my perspective on life and my walk of faith.
Going to Baylor, it's been amazing to be connected so easily with so many of the diverse experiences I've been able to have. Maastricht was really a turning point for me. I was a pre-medical student, but I was having some doubts and I could do well, but I wasn't really sure where the fire was or whether I was really in it. I knew for sure, leaving Maastricht, that I will be a doctor.
Through research at Baylor, I've been able to go to internships in other parts of the country, and if it wasn't for Baylor research, I wouldn't have been able to pursue the progress and the innovation that it brings to society and the world itself.
At Baylor, you're learning more than just history. You're learning more than just philosophy in my case. You're learning about purpose and vocation. What are you going to do for the world? What are you going to do for your community? What are you going to do for Christianity? How are you going to walk in the footsteps of Christ?
So I come from a long line of Baylor alumni. It's hard to imagine 50 years worth of changes, much less over 100 years worth of changes. For my grandmother and grandfather, for my mother and my father, for aunts and uncles, I think they would be very proud of Baylor University today.
There are so many things about Baylor that make me proud. I'm proud of our administration. I'm proud for what we stand for. As I walk the campus, it hasn't changed. It's still this beautiful place where we can come together and learn and pray together and talk about our faith. It's a place that is unabashed in saying we are a Christian university.
The thing about Baylor that makes me the most proud is that we've embarked on this grand vision and we're not looking back. And we're doing that, and we're making progress, and we're making a difference.
I had a phenomenal experience as a Baylor undergraduate student. And yet I say with a lot of pride that Baylor is much better than it was when I was an undergraduate student.
I came here 6 years ago. I feel like Baylor's in a better place right now than it was 6 years ago. And I think without question, 6 years from today, it'll be in a better place than it is today.
The success that we're enjoying athletically is only possible because of the generosity of our donors. There's a direct correlation between the fundraising success and the success that's come on the field, and we're deeply indebted to the generosity of Baylor Nation.
When you invest your money, you want something that's going to be on the upside, be on the upswing, and that's definitely Baylor. Baylor has had a set of goals, a set of ideals, always with a Christian mission that they wanted to achieve, and I appreciate that tremendously.
We're sending students all over the world with all kinds of educational opportunities. We're providing research distinctively from a Christian perspective. Now people know the name of Baylor and they identify it with excellence. And so people want to invest in it. They want to give to something that matters and that's going to last.
I can honestly say I would not be a Baylor University student unless I had a scholarship, if it weren't for the giving of other people. In my life, I desire to do something more than just successful, but something significant to impact the lives of others. And attending this university has given me the vision and mobilized me to be able to do so and impact this world.
Their generosity, their answering to Christ's call to be able to give generously as they could, has really opened so many doors in my life, has given me opportunities that I never would have had.
Through the gifts of donors, I felt like I was personally being supported, like I had my own squad of cheerleaders behind me through everything I did as a student. It showed me that as a student, Baylor believed in me and that there were people rooting for me to succeed.
Well, I would begin by saying thank you. Two of the sweetest words in the language.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your gifts
Change lives.
That change the world.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your thoughts, your prayers,
Mean more than you know.
More than you will ever know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your support
and your generosity
Make a difference.
Make all the difference.
All the difference in the world.
Because of you.
Because of you.